Alright, where is everyone? Okay. Hello, Ken.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, man?
I am good. Been extremely busy lately.
I know the feeling. I'm still working a regular job and everything. Huh? Bring close to me like this. Let's see. I only see like a little tiny picture of me, so I don't know when to send. You gotta tell me. So, what do you want? Right now, it's in between my legs. So, do you want me to slide? I can move myself like more this way or more this way. Okay, I won't move. I'm not moving then. If I do move, chastise me. So, how's everything going?
It's been good. Just busy with. I started streaming on Twitch now, so I've been
Okay.
focusing a lot of time getting that up and going. Time and money.
I can imagine.
Then the whole month of October's just been busy every weekend.
Oh, okay.
Haven't had Hello, everybody. How you doing today? It's a nice Halloween episode, and we don't have Mark today. He's out ill right now, so we wish him all the best right now. But we do have two other people with us. Let's welcome Remy and Ken again back to the show. How are y'all two doing?
Hey,
Excited to be back. Thanks for having us.
It's great to have y'all back. So, how have y'all been doing the past few weeks?
Pretty good, staying busy. Watching all the good horror stuff, watching Lovecraft Country right now. So just enjoying all the fun things that are out there.
I haven't watched
Nice.
Lovecraft Country yet. I'm slacking on that.
For?
What about you, Remy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I actually just got out of the hospital.
Can you hear him?
What happened?
Crazy enough, I had a seizure and I dislocated and fractured my shoulder.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that hurts. Just thinking about that hurts.
Yeah. Definitely hurts just thinking about it.
So have y'all been reading any new comics lately?
I picked up a few. I haven't really had a chance to read them, like Justice League, Dark, Teen Titans, stuff like that. But I haven't had a chance to really sit down and read them yet.
I've got my Joker War story. I've got all 10, and I can't wait to sit down and read it. That's my plan tomorrow.
I've been slacking. I haven't been able. My car has been dead for a while, so I haven't been able to get to the shop, get anything.
Gotcha.
I know I can order online. I just don't want to. It's not the same as going into a shop, so I haven't read anything new lately.
I pre-ordered like a month ago 3 Jokers because they advertised there was like 15 different covers.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, I got to get them all. So I just pre-ordered the whole thing, and then like first week of November they're being shipped to me.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I can't wait for this.
So let's go ahead, dive into the housekeeping. If you want, email us, be a guest on the show, be a cosplay guest, email us at home, comicbook101tv.com, info comicbook101tv.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, comicbook101tv.com. I also want to mention our show supporters, Yancey Street Comics, a shop right up the road where I normally go get all my comic books, and of course, Erie, Florida for Mark Muncie's books and everything. So hopefully we'll see. Mark won't be here next week because he has another prior engagement he has to do because Halloween's a busy time for him. So hopefully he'll be back in 2 weeks. We miss you, Mark. We hope you get better and everything. Let's go ahead and do Cosplayer of the Week. Ooh, here it is. So Cosplayer of the Week. Her name is Spooky Wit. So what got her into cosplay was she was doing a theater project 20 years ago. Then a few years later, when she moved out on her own, attended the first con and with her costume and found what she wanted to do in life. She could escape into a character and make people happy. Her favorite cosplay is probably Vampire Hunter D and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Next cosplay is going to be Ezio from Assassin's Creed and Altar with the Altar armor, and going to start working on Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z next year. There's some awesome cosplays right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, hopefully, I know with COVID, everybody hasn't been able to go out do conventions, so nobody has an excuse next year when conventions start back up to have the biggest, baddest cosplays out right now.
Exactly. Agreed.
I'm working on my cosplay actually for next year. I just gotta get the helmet, and that's the hardest part. I'm gonna do Among Us, one of the astronauts.
Okay.
Wow, that'll be fun. That's epic.
Have y'all played that game?
No, but I've definitely, like, all my nerd friends have been there. I'm just like, oh, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's only on Steam. I think it's $5, and on your phone, it's free to play. And you play, if you play on your phone, you play with people on the computer. So it's a lot of fun. That's why I've been streaming on Twitch lately, actually. And you can follow my Twitch stream at Cosplay in Tampa Bay. Well, give me a little shameless plug there.
Nice.
Nice. Nice, you gotta do it.
So what got y'all into, because it's October now. October is known for Halloween movies. So what got y'all into loving Halloween movies and horror movies and everything?
My big thing is vampires. So, I don't know which one was the first one I watched.
Sparkly vampires?
So I'll say it again.
Do you like sparkly vampires?
Actually, when I watched Twilight with my daughter, because she likes Twilight, when I walked out, the only thing I could say was, "Now we both like vampires, and yours sparkle." So, so but yeah, generally, I mean, it's like, Dracula, of course, the original, Blackula, Blade, Nosferatu, all that stuff, all the original stuff. I mean, plus the older horror movies, or the werewolf, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, all of those things. I mean, they really all kind of come into it. Nightmare on Elm Street was hit or miss a lot of times, but it's still always fun. So.
Well, the first Nightmare on Elm Street was the best because that was more to be scary. Then after that, it kind of just became a comedy type
comedy.
movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what about you, Remy?
I mean, being a magician, you're kind of always around the weird side of it, So we get a lot of influences from haunting movies and things like that because people want to see us replicate that. And I do kind of like being scared sometimes. So for me, though, it really started off with comedy. I started off with Abbott and Costello, Frankenstein.
Yeah, I remember.
Of course, we'll get into that at some point. But from there it was, who are these people playing Dracula? And that was my start, really.
So I remember being a little kid, we would watch Albert Costello. Then we would watch everything else from Nightmare on Elm Street. The first Nightmare on Elm Street scared me as a kid. It was a scene in the school where the body was being dragged down the hallway. And as a kid, that one got me.
Yeah, I could see that.
But then there's been so many other great movies. After all, Halloween, it wouldn't be a Halloween movies without Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. You can't think of October without Casper and a cast of Hocus Pocus, which on Freeform, you can watch all those movies now. And they're all on all the streaming networks as well. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. It's personally one of my favorites because I was actually part of the Shadowcast for a few years, and it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
It's every year. I did a Shadowcast all year long. Then every year at the Tampa Theater, we would do a big show there, and it would be sold out, packed and everything. And going to the Tampa Theater and performing there was just awesome. So let's go ahead and play the trailer for that real quick.
You've seen all kinds of movies, but you've never seen anything like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show is wonderfully weird.
I'm your new commander. You now are my prisoner.
They're probably foreigners with ways different than our own.
It's fabulously freaky. It's a trip to transsexual Transylvania. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Transsexual Transylvania.
The story is strange.
For tonight is the night that my beautiful creature is destined to be born!
The songs are super.
Science fiction.
The scenery is smashing. The cast is completely crazy.
This isn't the Junior Chamber of Commerce, Brad.
There's a mad scientist named Frank N. Furter.
Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
And Rocky, his incredible creature.
I knew he was in with a bad crowd, but it was worse than I imagined.
A sinister servant named Riff Raff.
I remember doing the time warp.
And Brad and Janet.
My name's Brad Majors.
Just a couple of clean-cut kids.
This is my fiancée, Janet Weiss.
Touch me. I wanna be dirty.
Eddie. Magenta.
When shall we return to Transylvania, huh?
Columbia. Dr. Scott.
Great Scott!
So give yourself over to absolute pleasure. See the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Let's do the time warp again.
Such a classic movie right there. Of all the actors, you had like Tim Curry, Barry Boswick, Susan Sarandon, and you had Meatloaf. So you can't go wrong with that movie. And funniest thing, when I did the Shadow Cast, we were part of a group called Interchangeable Parts, and you would have two groups doing it. You would have the first half doing most of the movie till the dinner scene. Then we would swap out for dinner scene till the floor show. So I did dinner scene Janet one night, just because I like to be random and throw people off. So I actually put on the panties and a bra, and my ex-girlfriend I was performing with us at that time, she played Frankenfurter. So we sit at the dinner table. The person that's playing Eddie's like, "Don't you dare jump in my arms," and I'm like, "Oh, I am." But so we did that. Then the part where Eddie goes to slap, what's her name, the bitch, Susan Sarandon's character, Janet. She just hauled off and slapped the shit out of me. Everybody could hear it all the way in the back of the theater. Our stage manager is like, "Did y'all plan that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was planned." And he's like, "Looked like it hurt." I'm like, "Oh, it hurt like hell." But it was good. Everybody's like, "Damn," everybody was shocked. But such a good movie, especially if you can go see it live. Because seeing it live, seeing a crowd perform in front of you is just really fun. And all the little one-liners people throw during the whole movie.
Exactly.
Those are the best parts.
Definitely.
So have y'all both seen it live or just seen it on TV?
Both.
Seen it
Actually,
live.
yeah, I seen it. Well, I was saying I saw it live. Last time I saw it live release was at Britain Theater. But the first time I got introduced to it was by, she's my ex-girlfriend now, but my girlfriend at the time, she's the one who turned me on to it. I hadn't even thought about it until she said it. So she's like, "This is one of my favorite films." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll watch it."
I got introduced to it.
I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I think I was in the 6th grade the first time I saw it. Many moons ago. It's a classic movie. You have to watch it every year. Then the next movie is one that actually Remy mentioned, so I'll let you talk about that one.
Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So what are our assets for this?
So we have the trailer, so let's go ahead and do the trailer first, and we'll talk about it.
Count Dracula sleeps in this coffin, but rises every night at sunset. Chick is right. This is awful silly stuff.
Come on, take it all out.
Now! Look out, Chick! Cover up! Samantha, cover up! Wait a minute.
The nation's top comics, Abbott and Costello. Petrified, but hilariously. Plus the dangerous and terrifying Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney. Plus that fiend out of a nightmare, the vampire Batman, Count Dracula, played by Bela Lugosi. Plus the most dreaded creature of them all, the Frankenstein monster, played by Glenn Strange. Plus a couple of luscious but designing females in the spookiest laugh fest on record.
Such a classic movie.
You know, I love the trope of the smart and dumb character.
Yeah.
right? I love those two things together. But I love when the dumb character is the most knowledgeable one in the room. You know, like, because he's dumb, nobody believes that Frankenstein and Dracula are real, but he knows.
Yeah, he's the
and
one.
If he wasn't so dumb, people might know.
And that movie had a huge cast. You had Lon Chaney Jr., you had Bela Lugosi, which right there, without Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney Jr., we wouldn't have the horror movies that we have today. They were the staple for the Universal monsters and everything.
I mean, really look at how important those movies were in their popularity. Think about what would have happened if somebody made a Frankenstein movie and they weren't popular.
Yeah.
You know, and then think about what would have happened after that if we tried to make fun of a Frankenstein movie and nobody cared.
And even for movies that were done back in, this was done in 1948. Look at how well the makeup and everything was done.
Yeah.
They did a great job on that makeup. Better than a lot of movies that are out today. They actually took time and make sure everything now is, oh, let's CG this, let's do that. And it's not real like it is back then.
I loved how they did the Wolfman transformation.
Yeah,
you know, it's Lon Chaney in the chair, and it's just stills, right? And every still is him with just a little bit more makeup, but they're just fading it more and more until he's the Wolfman.
Yeah, and we don't get that. Nowadays, everything's CG for that. We haven't had good Wolfman transitions since one of the next best ones is American Werewolf in London. With Rick Baker doing the makeup effects where you see everything moving and everything. So nowadays we don't get that. So that's definitely a good movie watch. Next movie, it's not a scary movie, but it's still a good Halloween movie. Addams Family from 1991.
Okay.
And Addams Family.
It's just funny. You can't go wrong with that one. So let's go ahead and play the trailer for that real quick.
Did you hear about, I heard something about Scarlett Johansson?
No.
Somebody's been cast as Morticia?
Ooh. All right, let's do the trailer, then we'll talk about that.
Nurse, how close are the contractions?
Every 15 seconds, doctor.
Are you in unbearable pain? My darling, is it torture?
Oui.
Forceps.
Forceps.
Go ahead!
What news? Father, what is it?
It's an Addams. He has my father's eyes.
Gomez, take those out of his mouth. He's an adorable little baby.
Fine. Rub it in.
Children, why do you hate the baby?
We don't hate him. We just want to play with him. Especially his head.
You'll meet someone very special. Someone who won't press charges.
Isn't he a lady killer?
Acquitted.
Women must follow you everywhere.
Store detectives.
And the stork flew down from heaven and turned into a baby. Our parents had sex.
So she did it.
Still one of my favorite movies. There, the cast, you had Christina Ricci in it. You had so many wonderful actors, and you mentioned about Scarlett possibly doing it. That would be interesting. She's not as skinny that you would get from Morticia, though.
Right.
I could see her doing it. I still think Christina Ricci should go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love.
Short though, isn't she? Isn't she like what, 5 foot, 5'2", something like that?
Yeah, but
so,
Tom Cruise is 5 foot.
Morticia's kind of tall. Also,
Tom Cruise is a midget. He stands on stuff to make himself look taller. So CG her to make her taller. It's okay. Tom Cruise can do it. She can do it.
Agreed.
So yeah, see that version of Morticia, I wouldn't mind right there.
Oh no, like I said, she looks good, great actress. Like I said, and for her career, it's a nice departure from what everybody's used to. So it'll be a great move for her. It's just like I said, it just breaks the norm for that particular character.
So we'll see. I would love another Addams Family live movie. It'd be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We can't do, and half the cast can't do it now from the original one.
Yeah.
The next movie is a really weird movie. I remember seeing this at a friend's house, The Crazies. Yeah, I think this was one Remy picked.
Yeah, I never watched that whole thing, so I need to catch up on that this month.
It was in Iowa. The residents in Iowa had some. Let's go ahead and do the trailer first, then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I don't care what the calendar says. Opening day. That's the first day of spring. Sir.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell are you doing?
Rory, you lay that gun down.
David, you did the right thing. Would you mind taking a look at Bill? Sure, what's wrong? I don't know. He's just not right.
She worries too much. I'm fine.
You got any plans this weekend?
She worries too much. I'm fine.
Hey, Ben. Ben.
What's Dad doing? He has a knife.
How long has he been playing statue?
A couple hours now. Same look Rory gave me.
All things wise and wonderful.
We're in trouble.
Is he dead?
David, there's somebody outside.
Military started shooting town folk.
We gotta get out of here, guys!
All around me are familiar faces. No expression, no expression. And I find it kind of funny.
He's got it.
You don't know that.
It's okay, I'm not sick! Dreams in which I'm dying.
Oh my God.
Best I've ever had. Find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to tell. Running circles, it's a very mad
Freaking awful.
So this film was a remake of the 1973 film with the same name, but this one you have Danielle Panabaker. George Romero actually wrote and directed the original version of the movie as well.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a Romero movie originally. But
I believe it.
let me pull down, because I pulled everything up. So that baseball scene in the beginning with the guy with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time you didn't know what the movie was about. So you just see this weird guy coming out with a shotgun and they take him out.
The movie develops very well, very quickly, but it doesn't leave anything out.
Yeah.
Like every question you have at the end of the movie is completely answered.
And I believe it was a biological
and it's quick.
agent that turned him into the zombie killers.
Excuse me?
It was like some kind of biological agent that turned him into zombies.
Yeah, it's one of the government bioweapon movies. The government screwed up. They lost the virus. Small town becomes zombies.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. It's definitely one to watch if you haven't seen it. Definitely, it's a must-see at least one time.
Yeah.
You should definitely sit and enjoy that. Get a good bag of popcorn with it or something and don't move from your seat the whole time.
No, once the movie starts, you're like, all right, let's watch this. Like it keeps you going throughout the whole thing. It's really nice.
Yeah. Next one I want to talk about is one of my other big favorites. Music doing musicals for Halloween movies is really hard. Rocky Horror Picture Show was able to get it. The sequel to Rocky failed. So we won't talk about that one because that was just horrible. But another one came up, and they had great cast that actually did it. You had Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You had the girl from Shark Boy and Lava Girl in it. It's Repo the Genetic Opera. You even had Paris Hilton in it, which they originally didn't want to cast her, but when she actually gave the screen test, they're like, okay, you can actually act now. And one of my favorite characters is Ogre from the movie, from Skinny Puppy and everything. The movie's about if you needed a new heart, new eyes or something, you can go ahead and buy them from Gene Co. But if you fail to make payments, the Repo Man would come after you and gut you back up to go ahead and get the parts back. So let's go ahead and play that trailer real quick.
By the middle of the 21st century, organ failure had become a worldwide epidemic. But Gene Co. was there to satisfy the demand for organ replacements.
Enjoy Gene Co.'s day and nighttime formula.
The problem is, if you miss a payment, Gene Co. sends out the Repo Man. And when he finds you, your time is up.
Collect on the Handelman account at once. This payment is past due.
Everybody, oh yeah. Stand up. People, people, people. Woo! Everybody, everybody, everybody.
Look what I've become. It's me she must escape.
So yeah, the cast list, you have Alexia Vega, Paul Sorvino, Anthony Head from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You have one of the best singers in opera that did Phantom of the Opera, Sarah Brightman. You had Paris Hilton, Bill Moseley, and Ogre from Skinny Puppy. Then you also had Terrence Zudich that played Grave Robber. And originally he wrote it as a short. Him and Darren Bousman talked more, and they went ahead and did it as a full-fledged movie, and it became such a hit, but it was like more of a cult classic hit. But everybody wanted a sequel, but they lost the rights. They didn't own them completely, so they went ahead and did Devil's Carnival instead, which is still a great movie on that one. This is still.
I have to watch it.
I watch this movie probably at least once or twice a year. I know it's on Hulu right now, so you can definitely watch it on there.
Okay. Cool.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. Have you seen it before, Remy?
Repo?
Yeah.
Or the sequel?
Repo.
I had seen Repo before, but I'd never seen the sequel.
Yeah. The Devil's Carnival, I believe, is on Hulu as well, and both Devil's Carnival movies are on there, I believe.
I definitely wouldn't mind a refresher on Repo, though.
Yeah, Repo is just a good movie, and you would think Paris Hilton would be a shitty actress because it's Paris Hilton. You don't expect much, but wow, her acting in this was actually really good.
All right.
So it's one of my favorite movies. Now let's talk about some of the big movies that you have to watch, the classic slasher movies. First one, 1984, Nightmare on Elm Street. So let's go ahead with the trailer for that.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
You just see cuts happen.
What did that, Lieutenant?
I don't know.
What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
They're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
No!
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm.
Such a classic movie with John Saxon in it. Heather Lane Capp was in it. And of course, you can't forget who started his first acting role in it, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That was his first thing. Then, of course, Robert Englund, which led his career to be huge after
My whole
this.
career, yeah.
But y'all were both mentioning something while we were watching trailers, so go ahead and mention that part again.
About him being a force, I think it's referring to. It's like Freddy is like something you can't escape. That's the whole theme of the movie, especially the first one, is like you have to fall asleep. Fight it as you may, eventually he'll get to you. So it's like he's that unstoppable force, and you have to either have the will to be an immovable object, or you're dead. Pretty much how it works with him.
Yeah. And this movie is also directed by Wes Craven, which does so many other wonderful movies. And another one, we'll talk about his is later in the topic of the show. We'll have another Wes Craven movie. But I think this was definitely a good beginning. I can't say beginning because Jason did come out technically before this, the first Jason movie, but this was a good lead for the whole slasher movie.
Yeah, yeah.
This was.
I mean, the first Jason movie wasn't really the Jason we all know and love.
Yeah, because the first Jason wasn't him doing it, it was his mom.
Exactly, yeah. So technically, you still say Freddy got him beat.
But
so I think that while Friday the 13th might have come out first, I think Freddy made it commonplace.
Yeah.
Like Freddy made it popular.
Yeah.
What's good about this? It was still a horror movie. You still had that suspense, jump scares, and Freddy had his little one-line comedy things here and there that made it funny at times. But later in the series, it just became more of Freddy being jokes the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's where it went downhill, I think, from there. And then they tried to revive it into the new Freddy movie, and that just was horrible.
You didn't like the new one?
No.
Oh. All right.
Okay, so Remy likes it. You're not so much. I had to check it out. Like I think I've seen bits and pieces. I never watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I guess it's because I grew up with this Freddy. Just trying to rewatch a new actor doing it just wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it.
I just, I like origin stories. And being able to see Freddy's origin, I was just happy to see it at all. I thought Freddy has... isn't he supposedly the bastard child of a nun that was raped by 100 serial killers?
It was something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
right, like, that's an incredible story.
Yeah. And
whoever wrote that, like, high five to you. That's terrifying, but good job.
But then next movie we can talk about is, there we go, the original Friday the 13th came out in 1980. Let's go ahead and do that trailer first.
Go.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2, 3,
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
4, 5, 6,
Must be in my imagination.
7.
Can I help you? Hello?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Friday, the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday, the 13th.
So yeah, so this one you don't have Jason as a killer. In 1957, Jason drowns in a lake near Camp Crystal Lake, and then his mom is the whole killer the whole time.
Exactly. Nothing more to say, really. That's like the whole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great twist to start with the mom being the killer, and then the second one, it's now the possessed son.
Then, did you know Kevin Bacon's in that movie as well?
In the second one?
In the first one.
I watched it before.
Kevin
The first
Bacon's
one, they
in it.
showed me the trailer just then.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when you made the comment about
I have to go back and watch that.
That was him.
So a lot of people don't remember Kevin Bacon's in that movie.
No, not at all. I gotta rewatch that.
Now for that scene.
Yeah. But it's a good movie, but it gets better when Jason's in there. Once the sequel, next one comes out, then you get Jason. Even every movie after that, they still stayed true to the nature. They didn't make it into comedy like Freddy did. Jason's just this big, burly guy that just doesn't give a F and kills anybody in his way.
Yeah.
Even when they eventually get to, like, Jason goes to hell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's one actor that played Jason 4 times, and nobody else has done that, which is Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
And he's one that's
cool.
At Spooky Empire almost every year. Kane's always there. One of the nicest people ever. Which is funny because when Kane Hodder did Jason, he actually started out as a stunt person. He wasn't going to be actor. He was just going to be a stunt man. And they decided, hey, you're big. You could do this. And it doesn't involve any talking. You don't have to talk. You just do the stunt work. And he did it.
Like, don't remember any lines. There are no lines. Look menacing. Kill. That's your whole job.
But the thing with Jason, because he doesn't talk, it's his body movements, how he moves and everything. That's his expressions.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
And one funny story about Kane Hodder, the actor, I met him one of the times I went to Spooky, he was there, and he's a big guy. And I'm like, okay, let's get his autograph. Let's get a photo with him, because he was doing photo ops. I wasn't aware of how he does his photo ops. So I go, he's like, you ready for the photo? I'm like, yeah. He wraps his hands around my neck. I'm like, oh, cool. He's fake choking me. Picked me up 2 feet off the ground and held me there. Why the person I was dating at the time was trying to take a picture. She's laughing. I'm like, he's fucking choking me. Take the photo. This does not feel good. But he's actually one of the nicest people ever. Every time it comes Friday 13th, I always post that photo back up on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
It's just a funny encounter with him. But he did 7, 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. He did those movies. And he was supposed to come back and do Freddy vs. Jason, but there was an issue. He was filming something else at the time, so he didn't get to do it.
Oh, okay.
But he did. Have you seen Hatchet?
No. Yeah.
He's Hatchet.
I think I know.
He's the one that plays Victor Crowley in Hatchet.
Okay. That was like 5, 6 years ago? How old is Hatchet?
Because I think they put out 4 Hatchet movies now.
Oh, okay.
I think it's about there. But let's go to the next one because we still have quite a few more movies to talk about. Can't have Halloween movies without Halloween, 1978. And yeah, right there, Jamie Lee Curtis. And it's great to see the new Halloween movies that are coming out with her in it because they're still keeping the original story from the first movie.
The story. Like, it's like every film, every other film, they're like, yeah, we're going to change the history now.
Yeah,
so,
they changed it so much. But since she returned, a year or 2 years ago for it, they retconned all the other crappy versions of the movie. So
exactly. Yeah.
The original and this one are together in the right universe. Let's go ahead and play that trailer first.
Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago.
Michael?
Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back.
Exploring uncharted territory.
Totally charted.
Just talk.
Sure. The only reason she babysits is to have
Halloween.
Come on out.
Halloween. The night he came home.
So yeah, in 1963 Halloween night, police are called to 43 Lambkin Lane, only to discover that 15-year-old Judith Myers has been stabbed to death by her 6-year-old brother Michael. He gets locked up for 15 years, decides to, let's break out on Halloween, and no one knows where to find him and why on Halloween, but he goes, breaks out, starts his killing spree, and the only person that's able to stop him every time has always been Dr. Loomis. He's been a big role in every Halloween movie in capturing Michael, because he's the only one that could understand Michael, apparently.
Now, if I remember correctly, they never explain anything about Mike.
No.
Right?
No, they really didn't.
It's pretty similar to the Joker in that sense of just like nobody knows why he is the way he is. He just is the way he is.
Yeah. He just decides, Halloween time, I want to kill anybody and everybody. And if you're having sex, you're dead. It doesn't matter. You're dead.
Yeah. That's why I think Mike Myers is my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that you can't rectify.
Yeah.
Right? Like, maybe one day Jason's soul will be cleaned, and maybe Freddy will move to the afterlife. But Mike Myers? Nah, he's never moving on.
Yeah. And there's really no real origin story for him, because this is the origin for him. He kills his sister, gets locked up, and escapes. There's nothing else that anybody knows about it. But it's been a great movie, minus the one Halloween movie that was all about the Halloween mask. We don't talk about that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was the worst one. But they've all stayed good.
That movie doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
That's being retconned in 2020, right? Like,
yeah. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And even the new one that they came out with when Jamie Lee Curtis came back and everything was a great movie. You had the original actor that played Michael Myers came back and did a few roles in that scenes in the movie. So it's good to see him come back as the original Michael on some parts and seeing Jamie Lee Curtis. And they've just released recently the trailer for the next one, and it takes place like minutes after the last movie. Like you see them driving away in the car, and the trailer starts with them and driving away in the car. And then a fire truck driving by, and you just hear her saying, "No, don't go there. Don't put the fire out."
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything else for you, but it's actually stands up to the original Halloween movie. It's definitely good. I know we're running short on time, so next ones we won't play the trailers real quick. Hocus Pocus, another good Halloween movie.
Oh, Hocus Pocus! I feel like that's the movie that everybody quotes.
Yeah.
The moment Halloween comes around, everyone's like, Hocus Pocus, let's do it.
Amok. But that one, Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, the Binks the Cat. I got to interview him at MetroCon a couple years ago. And he's also the voice of Max in the Goofy movie. James Marsden.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Hocus Pocus is definitely another great movie to watch. Then after that is another classic from 1995, Casper the Friendly Ghost, with Christina Ricci again, Bill Pullman. It's just a cute movie. You can't argue that. I like it. I'm cheesy. I watch it. It's been on Freeform, I think, almost like every day with like Beetlejuice and Hocus Pocus. I've watched it probably like 5 times this month already.
Have you seen the meme of Richie Rich and Casper right next to each other?
Yes. It's funny if you look at that. Richie Rich is Casper just without any clothes or anything. But
yeah. I can see that.
Right? Isn't that creepy?
Next one we'll go to 13 Ghosts. I know that's one you posted.
Oh, 13 Ghosts.
So now, at first, I didn't know which one you were talking about. If you were talking about the original, which was, I believe, Vincent Price, or if you were talking about the remake that came out.
I had only seen the remake. Okay. I only recently found out that the remake was a remake. I thought the remake was the original.
Yeah.
Turns out I was wrong, and I'm cool with that.
But the remake is amazing.
The remake was absolutely incredible. Tony Shalhoub and Matthew Lillard both did an incredible job with that movie. I want to see 13 Ghosts, the Netflix series that delves into each of the ghosts per episode.
Yeah, I haven't sat and watched that one yet, but Matthew Lillard is probably one of my favorite actors to watch in movies. And just how they did this movie was really interesting. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely must sit down and watch it. I know it's been on TV quite often lately.
The deaths were perfectly gruesome.
Yeah.
Like, they were just gruesome enough to make you be like, oh, like you wanted to shiver back, but you couldn't. It wasn't so gross you couldn't watch it.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Next one we can mention, because we still got a couple more, 1988, Michael Keaton. Batman. Not Batman. Wow.
Stay with Batman. Batman's
Beetlejuice.
I know you mean Beetlejuice, yeah, but Batman works for me.
Batman's good. It's a year later after that. But Beetlejuice, which I believe Michael Keaton only had 12 minutes of screen time in this movie.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And it's still one of the most popular Halloween movies to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And what do y'all think about Beetlejuice?
Oh, I loved it. As a matter of fact, since you accidentally said Batman, when they cast him as Batman, I said, you can't have Beetlejuice as Batman. Not my favorite Batman, but still. It's like, Beetlejuice is iconic for him. But, like, I mean, he's one of those actors, like, he doesn't like to get pigeonholed into a role. So he likes to go, completely the opposite of what he's done before.
And they keep talking about doing another Beetlejuice, so hopefully he does come back and takes that role again. Because I can't see anybody else being Beetlejuice.
That'd be awesome if he does it, yeah.
Then the next one, because we got a couple more, Cabin in the Woods, 2011.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods has such a special place in my heart.
So, if I'm right, that's the one you see the board near the end of the movie, and it has a bunch of different killers in it.
Yeah.
Like Sasquatch and a bunch of all those things.
Pretty much, if I recall, the movie's about a group of like scientists that have to recreate the standard horror movie formula.
Yeah.
Where like the Virgin, the Jester, all these people have to die and be sacrificed to the gods so that the gods won't kill us. And they have a choice as to which horror movie trope they're going to die from based off of what spiritual thing they open in the house.
Yeah, correct. And
you see the people working behind the scenes voting as to who's going to die how.
Yeah. Which, that was a nice twist in the movie, seeing that. It's a great movie. And I believe they did a sequel to it, too, didn't they?
They did a sequel?
I think so, didn't they?
I never heard of a sequel to it.
Maybe it's
but I got to tell you what they should have done in the bonus features was what if. So like in this one, I think in the movie they did the zombie thing, right? Like it was the zombie family that killed them. But they should have had a what if, and then they could have been like, seen the merman, seen the ballerina twins, or like different things that could have killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our favorite actor, our favorite Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
I had to see that.
Yeah, I never saw the sequel, but yeah, it's I mean, this one was definitely a good movie though. I don't remember all the details like you do, but I remember enjoying the movie definitely.
Yeah, I don't remember now. I'm trying to. I couldn't pull it up. But next one we can talk about is the last one. Stars Matthew Lillard, Nev Campbell as Sidney Prescott, and still a bunch of other awesome people. Another Wes Craven movie, Scream, in 1996.
Scream.
Yeah.
I heard in the second movie, they didn't tell anybody who the killer was until like the last day of filming or something.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Yeah.
And the twist at the end, because you don't know who the killer is, you think it's her boyfriend, and it's like, oh, wait, he got cleared because he was in jail, and the killer's still on the loose. And then at the final end of the movie, when you find out it's two people that are killer, it's like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. That just changed everything in horror movie rules.
Yeah, definitely.
Suddenly psychos could work together. Creepy.
Yeah. And Matthew Lillard, again, one of my favorite actors from Hackers and everything he's done before that. Scooby-Doo, then doing Scream, was just awesome seeing him in it.
He's a great, great actor. I will absolutely watch something just because he's in it.
Yeah. And the little things Wes Craven did in this movie as well. In the hallway scene of the school, you see the janitor wearing the same outfit as Freddy Krueger. Do you remember
Forgot
that
about
part?
that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't remember it
It was
all.
actually Wes Craven dressed up like that. It was him.
Okay.
So he was walking
cool.
around in a little Freddy sweater
Cool
and
to
everything
headshot.
in there. You had Fonzie get killed off in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even
I might have to dig that one up and watch it again.
The sequels 2, 3, 4, and I think 5 now they've done. We're all good.
I'm like, yeah.
And I know they greenlit another movie. They're going to do another one. So,
okay.
I mean, so far they've done a great job with the Scream movies, so I'll continue to watch them.
Yeah, the whole franchise for that's been good, and there's Wes Craven right there. Thank you.
Oh yeah, now I remember that.
It's like, okay, you're doing a little Freddy there, cool, nice little toss back for that.
Exactly.
And even the scene where they were all in the they were playing Halloween at the party, and I can't remember his name, the one that talks about all the rules. You can't be a virgin, you can't say I'll be right back. That was just a nice little thing, naming all the different rules in horror movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Then probably my favorite death was Rose McGowan. She's crawling out and gets her head stuck right in the garage door, and it goes up and breaks it.
I remember that. Yeah, definitely.
Or Drew Barrymore in the very beginning of the movie doing a quiz, and she failed on the Jason one, who's the killer in Friday 13th, and she goes, "Oh, Jason," and he's like, "No, wrong. It's his mom." But
that's funny.
That's it for this week. We got 15 seconds left. Thank you to both of you. Again, you're always welcome. Come on next week. We can do another movie episode. But again, if you want, email us at home at info at comicbook101tv.com, home comicbook101tv.com. There's all our social. We'll see everybody next week. Thank you for joining us.